Yes, it's still the weekend show, and this morning, like I told you before we went on that short break, we are going to look at voter education. When we started, we told you this is February and February 2nd. That means if we are doing a countdown to the presidential elections, we just have 14 days.
Yep.
14 days. And are you ready to vote? Will you vote? What are you preparing? Have you made up your mind on how to vote? Are you even ready? Do you know the processes to go? Luchi?
Yeah, do you have your PVC?
Do you have your PVC? That's the most important thing. That's the most important thing. Yesterday we were at an event where we were discussing, and we discovered some people even in this era are still keeping their TVCs, that's temporary voter cards, to vote. Are you ready actually? That's the thing we want to talk about.
Actually, a woman motivated me. An old woman, should be roughly around 70 plus. She actually had her own PVC tied up in a nylon bag. She tied it like twice, wrapped it in an envelope, and a purse. Yeah, I was really inspired. And when I asked her, she was like, So what I'm asking is, where is your own PVC? Is it somewhere you don't even remember on that day you go searching for it? Or is it somewhere safe? Today we are going to be talking about everything concerning what you should know as a voter. What you should know before you go to vote. And to do justice to that, we have a very important person, especially when we're talking about being the leaders of tomorrow. We have Mr. Nonso Stanley Anene.
Thank you.
Yeah, he is the Anambra State Coordinator, YALI.
Yeah.
YALI is Young African Leaders Initiative. So he's going to tell us more about YALI. David, should I take off?
Yes, let's run.
Let's know what YALI is all about.
Okay, the Young African Leaders Initiative was started by the Obama in 2011. And has been running since then. The aim was just to invest in the upcoming young Africans, because his roots were actually traced back to Africa. He inspires and trains them on 3 cardinal tracks: civic leadership, we talk about public management, and then business and entrepreneurship. And some of their programs, like the Mandela Washington Fellowship, they take up some persons that are qualified in Africa, like about 100 persons out of about 12,000 applications, and then send them to United States for a 6 weeks program and training on their fields on any of these 3 tracks I've already mentioned. Then also the regional leadership cohorts, they send some persons to Ghana, whether you're doing that on site or online. And then also the face-to-face young African leaders meetup, like every other state now has their own, like Anambra already does. So that's basically what YALI is all about. But we focus on trying to empower the youth with basic information. And that's why at this point, we kickstarted the Niger Votes campaigns all over the states that already have the YALI network existing. We are doing that to just play our part as young Africans, to take part in deciding our future, and then also taking that time to inform and educate people on their rights.
So YALI is not in all 36 states?
Yes, not yet. We have about 25 states now, officially.
Okay, that's more than 2/3.
Yes.
It means you're getting far.
Yes.
Now, tell us about your voting education campaigns. What have you been able to do? What are the focus areas that you educate people on? What are the strategies you've used so far to reach to people?
Yes, YALI Votes is a cardinal activity in YALI. In fact, it's there every time. We always remember that this program or this activity tags to YALI Votes. But it's cardinal also to us because we are youths, and most of the social and electoral vices we usually have are actually carried out through the youths. So first, by carrying those activities out, educating the young persons and the rest, it gives us the opportunity to also educate ourselves and learn. In December, 21st December 2018, we were in Ose Market Onitsha. We had a road show. Why did we choose Ose Market? We didn't go to Main Market or some other like Oka. We believe that when we talk about vote buying, most factor that people consider is you don't even have money. Some people's business is already in their tray. 5,000 now, you can buy over all their business for the day and they're home happy. So these are type of people, when you give them 10,000 naira, no matter how you try to convince them that this leader is the best. Please, they want to eat their basic square meal. And that's why we went to Ose Market to educate them on the reasons why they shouldn't sell their future. Because your vote is your voice, and you should make it count. By tying up your voter's card now, approved, thinking, in fact, some people have voter's card just to clear checks, instead of using it to count. Some people tell me categorically, they have it, but no choice, or choice clear check or material. But the main thing is to count, because when you are not voting, you're actually voting for something else. And you need to know that, right? So we try to sensitize on vote buying, even propaganda, libels, trying to say wrong information about someone to make the person be seen in a wrong perspective. So these are part of the few things we do. There are many more.
Yeah.
I like the statement you made.
Before you ask the question, can I make a request?
Okay.
I think voter education is something that is it's extremely important, and it's the kind of education that should go to the grassroots.
Yes.
Please, can I request that we speak more Igbo? Because otutundi vote agora you got to go. So I know Pukaina Suku Igbo. David, go ahead.
Yes, I like the statement he made that when you didn't vote, you are voting for something else. Yes. Can you expand more on that?
Yes, for example, we already have many persons vying for the presidency. Most persons want to go to war, most persons want to go to the PDP, Atiku, and the other person, most others going for Buhari and Professor. So in some of them, it's okay to all Buhari. Buhari, a number is dropping down from the Natolia. Okay. So let me say that two of you now to vote. Actually, I have a president, and only 100 people are accredited to vote. So if 50 people are voting for you and 50 people are trying to vote for her, she's already dropping by one, and you are climbing. Okay. So it would have been equal. It could have been a rerun or something like that. Mana ina efuna iyo bu na ina eme. Ide atunyelo nka ina agbashi nkiti maka yemenje kwa maka ndi otu ayo fodo believe na ya atulo no offense salad and the rest. Esigodo na ya atu iyi mada ya buna onwo onye ozo na atolia and in okwa na the same pain. So it's your work to join in deciding onye shock or bolia ye win.
All right.
Okay, so mana acho meji also. So far it's no meje go stage ebending kozo. What are some of the challenges you feel people are facing? Give feedback, Yes, by Geraldine Ose and other, we also had a program last 2 Saturdays. The Commissioner for Youth and Sports or Youth and Youth Development now was also there. I want to go some other activities. My feedback, let me start from the roadshow we had. Often the Bundes go give because now Charlotte did to vote or now. You're about to say I'm going to picky. That's another information. Yeah. Some people have seen that some of us are scared to even take part in voting. And I'm saying now I'm going to picky. You watch Kankete. I'm going to AHD vote to get to your yourself. It's better you vote. Why I need grow. America go too far now. That at this point, I don't have absentee vote. I don't think go electronic vote. I could have absentee vote. Absentee vote, because they can go send the login can mail it to mobile. No. Where to you be to go to electronically.
Okay, let's focus on what we are.
So now some feedback I want to go, Bona. Some of them now to go scared. Now vote that it does not count. But we are trying to tell you that it can count. It can start now. Low level now. We start with 2 tenures and actually for presidency. Now, you pass will give you a first tenure or little. And will be a sequentially that in 3 tenures, not 3 different presidents. Only but all. If we get secondly, some of other feedback I know what the youth now say they are only the Diego. I just read online 2 days ago. Professor Moore, someone purportedly said that non request 1,000 naira contributions from people. Can say if they be serious. Whatever vision or their I believe in or there because no care of ego. Because I say I can get you 1,000 people from my community, man. Ego. That is it. People believe that for them to do something, which is their right, that you need to bring something. Equal logo, they be ready. If you get so some other feedback of other nabo. Potakwa na ebe anu na ejekwa na atubakwa bomb ma agbakwa egbe potakwa because of that you start so. And you now give room for in fact,
let me ask, can draw a follow-up question up to this so that you go in that line. Wouldn't people have reasons to fear to have such fears? Because with what is happening, everybody's afraid that this election might not actually be. We've been praying for a peaceful election, but some people are saying with the indices we're having on ground, the federal government just recently announced a threat coming from Niger, and wouldn't they have reasons to be afraid to stay at home at these elections? Why should they dispel their fears?
You know, the people suffer when the good people refuse to take part in politics.
Okay.
So when you are scared that you don't want to go and vie for Senate, the bad person abazeba, and the person will join in deciding and say Ibo wedding it's year coffee. All power. Politics rule everything. If we not enable pastor, I convert a church into a warehouse. Politics, they have the power to do that. For Nigeria to be good, in fact, yesterday I was so angry that I sat down and I said, okay, Nandi and I said, because I know not open, I wouldn't want to, because I know not the partisan, so we are not partisan. But because and I forced to why? Because of party allegiance. We should go past that. For Nigeria to be good, you must sacrifice something. Let me give you a little sacrifice you can give. Nigeria like to vote. In fact, at the last elections, 2015, Madoneka account from Southeast, 400 and something thousand, 500,000. The total Southeast then went 2.2 million. One state alone in the north went 1.9 million. So they are willing to stay there now. And you will make clean up. Only may I say about sanitation. People want to stay at home. You don't want to sacrifice anything for your country to be good. If sacrifice equal line, at least you've done something by preventing the bad person from taking over. Because if the bad person comes in, it will affect you in one way or the other. For Nigeria to be good, you must start sacrificing little by little. More threats, more blood. Okay, you know Nigeria na babagi where you must take back your future. It is our future.
And that's by action, by voting.
But then I want to ask a question. Where did we go wrong? Most people now say, our leaders, you get. But then I noticed something. Please I know we're talking about voters here. But then can go there and voters. Now recently I concluded INEC training this week. Yeah, I think it was this week.
Yes.
Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, thereabouts. Now I noticed like most of the youths that went for that training, a lot of them that went there, you get. Now these are youths saying and say, Potabia 12 votes, Mbosia and Farman 2 votes. Makano Hamara Ruoro. And Mbosia Yeme Jaroro Abuaka men went free and fell. Not Habia Babiana Lego and Kayaka, nke Hakale Nata, which is still votes buying. So my question now is, where did we go wrong? Is it from our leaders or from we Ndineji to vote?
Can I add their personal experience? On one of the elections we monitored, I met a core member, Omar Nancy Media. He didn't know I was a journalist covering the event. We were just chatting. Empty. So, in that line, how do we fix this? Can there be the problems?
Core member, man, he was put there to be neutral.
To represent the government. Because that's why you use NYSC people. You are there to represent that. They feel that you are the most neutral person. Most of them are coming from different states. So yeah,
so where did we go wrong?
Now I feel that we went wrong when we stopped expecting our leaders to sit up. If we went wrong where we started leaving people who are not a Senate for 30 years more, 50 years more, 10 years, we went wrong at that.
So it's not our leaders. So our leaders the wrong now is we.
Because the leaders did not put themselves there. You voted for them, whether by rigging or by anything. I know voters number use everything. So I'm trying to tell you that whether you like it or not, at the moment you stopped expecting something in return. In fact, first of all, let me say a voter education based on some people don't even know senatorial allocations. Or when you go no way again and you go to you will know equal go on. That's why when my tracker NG, some other ways you can be able to get to keep your leaders accountable. When you expect them to be accountable, when I see youths that will call you for town hall meeting, say, sir, let's look back at 1 year ago. in every of the quarters there, you did not do anything. Now election will be good. Ikeba rise. Please, what happened to our money? When you keep them accountable, they will know that you are aware. Imabulo no we go geji. Yeah, Judia. Enya get 10,000. Hey, shineka onya try kakwa.
But him no go for na go dey for father.
That's another thing.
He vote one for out. No. That is. It's just that we've.
Yeah, because you now reminded me of the fact that we were supposed to have a debate for presidential candidates. Now the two major candidates that did not show up, Bondo Doranyanya, one of them is going to occupy that seat. Now in a situation like this, where in Nigeria, I go the Aftabo party. Now the two major political parties, Aima, did not show up. Manande Kozobia, the Madanas and then Kanwabia the crayfish party. So I keep wondering, given the problem we see, or nothing Kabia now, is it that they are not sound? Or not just whatever major or
that the way we engage, because you mentioned town hall meetings and then asking them questions, tracking them. Is it that the system through which we engage these people are not effective enough?
I think we don't even know the system.
Okay.
So the average youth, if you ask them what is the work of the senator, they don't know. Yeah, they take it that the work of the senator is just to answer senator. They not represent. That is not the only work. And when someone that is supposed to come down to your community for projects, which is even up to more than 25 million, 30 million, every quarter, every 3 months, scholarship. How many of them did that? You didn't even know. That's why you cannot ask. Nothing more about it, but need to be involved in elections and politics. An average youth is more interested in trying to follow up the recent music video, the assurance issues, not just the one Big Brother Nigeria and Diotia. They are not interested to know that. You must get interested. You must ask a question, and without asking that question, all
right, before you continue, remember this show is public participatory. You can call us in and be part of the discussions. Join in, ask questions, make contributions, and then let's hear your voice here, right here in the studio. We have a caller already joining us. Hello. Hello.
Yeah,
good morning.
Yeah, I want to make it.
Your name and where you're calling us from? I can be said why.
Who did not show up during the presidential debate. So what would have been done in that presidential debate that the House would have been created so that the contestant main presidential candidate will understand that this is very vital. It has to do with the entire Nigeria. So that every person who go for such presidential debate, even when the election took on, that person stands disqualified. It's just that you don't have respect for rule of law. Some people think they can lock certain things over other people. You understand me? That you have a presidential debate, the people that you want to control, the people that you want to lead, have the right to ask the question regarding the manifesto that you want to put in place. Are you getting it? And they are not for you to just respond. Either for one thing or the other, that you know you cannot express yourself very well. You cannot be able to just put questions the people are going to ask. Are you getting me? And you want to maneuver things. Such people to me is to make it. And that's why I say that imperative that the House is involved so that in such situations where such men fail to show up, INEC will disqualify them.
All right. Thank you very much. Your name and where you called us from?
Who can make them realize that that's vital and whatever, not to use money to buy goods.
All right, thank you very much. So that other people would be able to call in. We give a maximum of at least 1 minute. You must have nailed your points. The points on the head.
I think he did make a point. Did you hear what he said?
Yes, about the people that didn't show up at the elections and that they could have been disqualified. You know, my suggestion to that would simply be, let Nigeria make this thing part of the constitution or part of the electoral process. That after this, if you look at the INEC timetable, the debate wasn't there.
No, it wasn't.
So the state people still see it as optional.
Yeah, they felt it's a media business.
Yes, and that is not even really. If the state takes it up, and puts it in part of one of the electoral process. And that if you fail to show up, because that's the easiest way people can ask you questions, although people may not be able to ask physically, but if we put up a process that you can even send it across any other way, and people collate them and then put them together and ask the questions, it's the easiest way we get contact to. But let me ask you now. Okay, and that caller.
Hello?
Hello.
Hello?
Hello, your name and where you're calling us from?
Good morning. My name is Michael. I'm calling from Navy.
Michael, go on.
Hello?
Go on.
Yeah, go on.
Okay. I was called before to complain during the time that INEC was distributing their voter cards between afterward level or filling unit level. I personally went to the polling unit or the ward or the Igwe like 4 times and did not see any INEC official. Yesterday I was at INEC office, maybe not. They refused to give us our voter card. I think ABS should do something, should go and investigate that thing, because I don't know if they want to sell our voter card to politicians.
You said
A lot of people were making noise and they refuse to share the voter card.
Is it, sorry, Michael?
hello, Michael.
Michael,
So, hello.
let's get your questions clear, or the points you're making clear. Is it the place you went to is INEC headquarters, right? That's INEC local government headquarters.
Yes, INEC is local government office.
Yes, at Nnewi, right?
Okay.
Okay, and the officials of INEC were there, but they refused to distribute the cards.
They were there present yesterday. Yesterday, they refused to hear it. They say we should come back on Monday. Whereas people that came on Thursday were asked to come on Friday. And this Friday, that was yesterday, they refused to give to anybody.
All right.
All right, Michael, I'm sure the authorities are listening. They're going to look into it. And then we too will look into it.
ABS will also look into it.
So now you see the problem is not just with the voter. So in a case like this, what should a voter do? Where you're being denied your PVC.
Okay, now I would have even added to the question we would have asked him. Did they say your voter's card was ready? Or, they could have given, it's possible that they gave this reason that it's not yet printed, that they will still send it down on Monday, or that is there, will come back on Monday. Maybe if it's the second.
To get the position, actually, I think that's what we'll be confirming later, to discover what's actually the situation at Nnewi. I think, just like you said, it's a clear point, but...
Yeah, I think we have a caller. Hello.
Hello.
I'm calling back. I'm the person that called before.
Okay, Michael. Please, in 30 seconds.
You understand?
Yeah. So what is their excuse?
You go to our ward. We went to the ward. In particularly, the Uru and Nafu ward. To 3 minutes. We went there several times. Nobody was there.
All right.
The people sitting around there said, I need to go in once and take 2 minutes and disappear.
Okay.
So the thing is that if they can send their people to go and meeting on Monday, go and notice the distribution going on there. Because otherwise, it's 4 months who are willing to vote. Yes.
All right. Okay. Thank you very much, Michael. I think you've made your point, and it's very clear and loud. Time is already here. Just give us your final message.
Okay.
Especially to voters who are having difficulties getting their PVC.
Yes, there is still time. According to the INEC arrangements, you can still collect your voter's card even from Monday, at least. So you still go back there. And this point you made now, I'll try to communicate to the INEC headquarters here, the contact person we have there, and tell them of this, because from what he said, they didn't give out the card to anybody. So
which means told them to go to wards, and
nobody was there. Yeah. So my last note to everybody would be, your vote is your voice. you need to make it count, because the future you are trying to make depends on that. The beauty of a country has a large factor depending on who the leader is. So, but you have a part in choosing the leader, not minding the insinuations that it may not count or that this reason will happen or not. Still have faith. It's just what we pledge in our national pledges. Have faith in your country.
Thank you very much. We'll now move for news at our breakfast news. But before we go, let's take this announcement again. All applicants into the Nigeria Army 78 regular recruit intake exercise should report to Army Barracks on today, Saturday from 7 a.m. It should have already commenced 7 a.m. until 4 p.m. Help to disseminate the message to your people who must have registered to be part of it. Luchi.
Yeah, my last word is that your vote is your voice, just like our guest said. When you sell your votes, you sell your voice. Therefore, you cannot be heard when you have complaints eventually. Please do not sell your votes, and please do come out en masse and vote during the elections.
All right, we're moving over now to our news studio for the breakfast news.